$5,000, and he is also our survivor speaker this morning. So please welcome Nick back up here to the podium. Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
It's really nice to meet you. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see a lot of purple today out in the crowd. First, I'd like to thank PanCan for giving me the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Nick Pifani, and I'm a pancreatic cancer survivor. I wanted to share my story because if it can help one person, I always believe the story is worth sharing. I'm 42 years young, married to my wife Jen, and had 2 kids, Nick and Samantha. I'm a long distance runner. I've run marathons, half marathons, I even did an Ironman 70.3. But nothing tested my mental toughness and physical drive more than a pancreatic cancer diagnosis. In March of 2017, I was diagnosed. If you read online, you see the standard symptoms: stomach distress, weight loss, back pain. I initially made an appointment with a GI specialist because I was having stomach problems, but I had to go to the ER. Once I was at the ER, they told me I had a pancreatic mass, and I had further study done which confirmed the cancer. And from the day of initial diagnosis, I was determined to fight. We saw 2 medical opinions and both agreed: inoperable pancreatic cancer. So my course of treatment would be chemotherapy and then radiation. My mom was a nurse, and she always believed in patient education and advocacy. Over the coming weeks, I became very educated on my diagnosis. I used PanCan. I looked at Jefferson, Penn, Sloan Kettering, you name it. I looked at it. And I started to build what I would call the dream team of doctors to get me well. I received 6 sessions of chemo at Fox Chase. And for anybody that's done chemo is hard. I've done all kinds of races, but nothing compares to chemo. When my body wasn't recovering the way the doctors had hoped, they switched me over to chemo radiation. I did much better with that. I was actually able to run most days, and I even went back to work. I found that keeping my mind focused and my body in shape was my number 1 priority. And after radiation was complete, I had a new set of CT scans. And I brought them over to Dr. Yo at Jefferson to determine. You should give Dr. Yo a hand because he is a miracle man. To determine if surgery might be an option. And when Jen and I met with Dr. Yo and his team, he said, "Nick, you did exactly what I asked you to do. Aggressive treatment. And as a result, we're going to attempt the Whipple procedure on October 18th. My procedure was 6 to 8 hours long, but the resection was complete. I honestly believe my physical conditioning helped me in recovery, and I was told I would be discharged on the 5th day, the 23rd. But I wasn't discharged until I received the best news. My pathology report was clean. So as Dr. Yo would say, resection was a complete success. And at this point, I am cancer-free. So despite all the odds and statistics, I am cancer-free. And when you read about pancreatic cancer, we see a lot of ugly statistics. But I decided back in March, I would do the following. I told my kids and I told my wife, I was going to steamroll right over this cancer. And that's what we did. The second thing that I did and I would recommend others to do is tell all your friends and family, so that way they can help support you, because cancer just does not affect you, it affects everybody. The third one is a little bit of a personal wrinkle, and that is create your own statistic. Why can't you be the person who makes it? And lastly, for me personally, I surrendered all my worry and fear to God so I could focus on the fight to get well. So in closing, in the words of one of the best middle distance runners in the United States history, Steve Pifani, you never give up the fight, and to give anything less is a disservice to your ability. Give 100% every day. Thank you very much.
Nick. How inspiring is that, huh? And how motivating is that, too? And that right there is why we wage hope, right? So,